Hello, welcome back. Today's topic is all about food journaling. Have you ever heard of food journaling? Okay, I'm going to introduce you to the benefits of food journaling, what an unhealthy food journal is, and how you can take 2 to 3 steps in the right direction to get your diet on track using this nutritionist recommended tool and method. All right, I'm going to share my screen now. And we are going to begin with the benefits of keeping a food journal. I'm nutritionist Annick Lewis. I'm personal trainer, executive, corporate wellness coach. These are the topics we discuss one-to-one or in a group setting because these are the foundations that you need if you want to be lean, fit, and healthy for life. Yeah. I'm recording right now. Okay, so whether you are trying to lose weight or you're attempting to eat healthier, a food journal can be a beneficial tool for you to understand your eating patterns. I'm using this journal here that I found. Kim, I am on a recording, please. And I will not be cutting that out. Kim, I can hear your voice. I'm on a recording. The reality is many people can benefit from tracking their food regardless of what their health goals are or if they are working on one at all. So keeping a food journal can help you make desired behavior changes and develop an awareness around eating to create a better mind-body connection. Okay, so you get to be more aware of what you eat and when you eat, because I'm pretty sure as a nutritionist who's interviewed over hundreds of participants, you go through life not being mindful of what you're consuming. And one day you wake up and your knees are hurting and you have to buy new clothes because your clothes don't fit anymore, you're uncomfortable, and 10 years down the road, it's been a compounding effect of unhealthy dietary behaviors. And that's why people check in with a nutritionist because they realize, oh my gosh, my cholesterol is high and my blood pressure is through the roof, and I'm noticing some changes. So keeping a food journal is the number one starting point. If you are a beginner, or even if you want to take your diet to the next level, you want to keep a detailed food journal. Okay? And this will reveal your personal patterns and habits, which you need to know because you need to track that data and then decide, okay, well, this is where I'm at now. This is where I want to be. How do we bridge that gap and create a simple plan to get there successfully and safely? Logging your meals sheds light on your patterns. Do you skip meals? Do you mindlessly snack throughout the day? You can also identify certain triggers. Are you grabbing a bag of chips when you feel stressed or bored or anxious? You eat late night bowls of ice cream because you feel lonely? Are you documenting your food? So these are important concepts and it helps you with your weight management. If you're interested in reaching healthier weights, the good news is this process works for you with that. And you can identify intolerances. So let's say, for example, you have an allergy or you have an intolerance and you notice your stomach is upset with certain foods or meals or combinations, your diet could be a trigger point. So you may have to look at limiting or avoiding certain ingredients if you are coming up with any triggers of intolerances or allergies. So it's a form of self-care. We definitely recommend it as nutritionists, and we are fans of that process. Okay, so let's see what else I've pulled up here for you. With regard to some data and reasons why we do need to consider healthy diets, if you may or may not have heard me mention before that the number one reason for death in the world Shocker is cardiovascular disease, which means that is purely a lifestyle condition and it's totally preventable. You might say, well, it runs in my family. These are my genetics. I'm destined to have it. And the research is pointing to say, yes, it might make you genetically higher in a predisposition. However, your diet through epigenetics has the ability to turn on and off certain genes for you in the future, which is exciting because what you eat really can impact your genetic predisposition. All right. Let's see what data we have here in the Journal of Nutrition. Okay, so junk food intake among adults in the United States. So there's no consensus on how to define junk food. But there are some comprehensive data sets when it comes to obesity preventative regulations in the world, including criteria of unhealthy foods. And you can see that, university is really a series of going through all of these medical journals and then writing up reports on those kind of things. So this is always, I used to love just staying in the library and like going through all these journals. And you can see different patterns of what people are consuming and in what quantities. And these are the kind of data I love to look at because it's interesting to me. Okay, so what else we got here? Cambridge University, we got cross-sectional studies of online food delivery applications. Ooh, look at all this. Lots of fun research we're finding here. And Journal of Science, Digital Food Environment. So you can go online, and if you're into methodology, you can go through some of these very intensive data sets and learn even more how people are consuming their food patterns, like what are people eating and how much. What I really want to show you though is this is an example of where you might be right now. So if you're here, you might be a beginner and you might think, okay, well, I love my Cheetos and I'm going to eat lots of cookies for Christmas and I'm going to eat this and that and that and that. Many people gain weight in this December, January month every year. And even if you gain 2 pounds every December, in the next 10 years, you will have accumulated that weight because you will stretch your stomach year after year after year. And so the invitation that I have for you today is to look at your current habits and time everything, be as specific as possible. What time are you consuming your first meal of the day, beverage of the day? What brand are you consuming? Are you loyal to brands when it comes to your health and wellness? Do you pick anything up off the shelf? Do you read the label? Do you know how to read a label? Can you understand the breakdown of the macro and micronutrients within an ingredient pack on a label? That's where you need to start, because if you don't understand how to read, you are going to be making mistakes time and time again. So an example of, a food journal here that I see is we have at 1:30 p.m. there's a large pepperoni pizza slice and a large soda. So location, desk at work. Usually sometimes I see like a donut in there too. And I see a pie or pastry for breakfast. And then Coke, lots of Cokes. And like with alcohols even sometimes. And when it comes to linking people who are at a stage where they want to lose weight, this is where the starting place is. So then you want to notice, okay, well, how do I feel before I eat this? And usually the report will say to me as a nutritionist, I do feel stressed and anxious about a deadline or about an event or about some other situation, whether it's in corporate world, whether it's in the family space, whether it's in moving house. These are the normal emotional changes that people experience when either changing a life stage, going into retirement, moving country, moving house, many things. And you'd notice that dietary changes have been a part of that shift. So I like to prepare my clients for, eating out strategically to stay on track. If you need food drop or like Uber Eats, you need home delivery, you still want to stay on track. But you want to know where you're at and like how much you're consuming and what brands, and then we could figure out what to do next. And when it comes to portions, you need to be clear on your portion size. How much are you eating? Are you ordering the large? Are you ordering the large portion? Are you ordering the small portion? Are you ordering the medium portion? I am recording, so if your voice is in here, I'm not cutting it out. How your food was prepared, whether it was fried or whether it was baked, or do you have any additional sauces or toppings? How are your feelings before your diet? Are you recording your mood before you eat, after you eat? How do you feel after your diet? Are you having a meal and then you're feeling bloated and then you're feeling uncomfortable? Are you feeling lethargic? Are you eating too much that you want to pass out? Or are you eating too little that you're staying awake and you have lots of energy? Are you in a low appetite? Or do you have a big appetite? Does your appetite change in the morning or the evening, in the day, throughout the seasons? These are good points that each human really needs to learn about themselves. Because the more you know about you is the more you can biohack your life experience, and then you can take the right steps to get to your goal. Obviously, working with a coach will get you there faster because you can have a faster rebound rate. And with a faster rebound rate, you can make mistakes and get back on track a lot faster than making mistakes and going in a downward spiral of self-defeating behaviors that is very hard to come out of there with the guilt and the stress and the anxious eating. And, those guilt journeys go down really low and fast through binge eating, for example. So working with a coach really helps you to have a hand to hold, to be able to make mistakes in a safe environment where you can take another step forward a lot more efficiently than if you were on your own, for example. Okay, and then you want to study also your hydration. What beverages are you consuming? Are you consuming enough water throughout the day? Are you consuming mostly juice? What brand of juice are you having? What soft drinks are you having? How much sugars are you having? Are you having within your daily allowance of sugar, or are you consuming way too much sugar? Are you addicted to sugar? Are you addicted to fast food? Are you addicted to overeating? Are you addicted to numbing out with your diet? These are questions that you will have to note and observe within yourself to be able to get on track and keep a steady, consistent diet that you feel confident and comfortable with, whether you're eating out, whether you're traveling, you're eating on the go, packing for work, meal prepping at home, serving your family. This is how to make those decisions in a rapid response rate, because life moves fast, and you need to know these diet hacks. Otherwise, you're going to get left behind in sickness while everybody who's on the health path goes forward in health. Okay. And we are, in an office space here. So the mindfulness of when you hear background noise and chats and whatnot, that's just our team. I'm not cutting it out. Okay, so you also want to record your feelings, other activities. Are you exercising? How many calories are you consuming? And how many calories are you burning? And this is when you want to set a goal. I want to be the healthiest, fittest shape of my life. That's a good goal. You set a goal like that, and then you can see clearly the direction you have to go. I'm going to leave it at that for today because we spoke about a lot of stuff. And when it comes to our nutrition and our behaviors, It's really important that we have the right community around us to support us in our goals and throughout the day. When it comes to making key decisions on a menu, eating out, or ordering in with friends, or traveling, these tips and tools should help you stay optimal with your performance and with your results. Okay, so until next time, I'm Annick Lewis. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Yeah.